Toxic patriarchy does not want women to learn feminine energy. The reason I chose to teach feminine energy over femininity content is because I have noticed that a lot of the women who consume femininity content, who listen to femininity gurus, a lot of them are the male-centered women. And a lot of them who are not, once they start watching those contents, they eventually become male-centered women. A lot of them, not all, but a lot of them. And that is to tell you that a lot of the coaches that, whose teaching primarily lies on femininity teachings are producing male-centered women as a result of their teaching. A lot of them, allegedly. Because a lot of the contents on femininity that they teach is basically teaching the performative side of womanhood and not so much of the character building side, the energetic side, which is the parts that actually birth the feminine energy and eventually birth the femininity itself. Like, they don't teach the core. It's like trying to teach a group of people how to be rich, for instance. But instead of teaching them how to build the character of a wealthy person, the mindset of a wealthy person, you are instead focusing your teaching on teaching them how to appear rich. You're teaching them how to dress like a rich person. You're teaching them, the performative aspect of wealth. And many people, I'm sure a lot of you watching this video, already understand how this kind of things go. You get to a point where you're learning, it feels cool, you feel great, you feel confident that, yay, I'm actually finally learning the ways of the wealthy people. But you get to a point where you realize that this is all empty. This is not getting me results. That is because the blueprints that you're being handed is just the performance, the appearance. But you're not being given the blueprint that actually gives you the depth, that gives you the character building, that enables you to be able to awaken that energy within you. And that is just how a lot of the femininity content are, as opposed to the feminine energy content, which mostly focuses on, the energetic side of womanhood, the energetic side of femininity, like the depth, talking about the spiritual aspect of it and the neuroscientific aspect of femininity. And those are the kind of teachings that actually teaches you the essence. It gives you the blueprint of how to channel the essence within you. And I feel like that is where a lot of the femininity content creators or femininity coach miss it. And this is why a lot of the ladies who, consume or watch a lot of the femininity content do not actually get results, right? Because those contents are centered on getting the attention of a man. It's always centered on, performing for the male gaze. It's, they don't say these things outrightly, but those teachings, like, it's just about the male gaze. It's all about how other people perceive you. And femininity is way deeper than that. It's a very, very simple thing. This is why I teach feminine energy, because it speaks to the nature of womanhood, using the spiritual, the neuroscientific, and metaphysical languages to teach the essence of womanhood to women. And this, I believe, is more potent and powerful than the performance of femininity. It's just like a lot of us who have been in one of those affiliate marketing classes where you're learning how to be an affiliate marketer, right? Like, if you're someone who has gone through one of those classes, you kind of get what I'm saying, right? And even if you're someone who has, you've had a phase where you listen to almost every video that talked about how to get rich, how to be wealthy. And I'm sure most of us have gone through that phase. Most of us have gone through such videos. You realize that you've bought a lot of books, you've watched a lot of content teaching you how to be wealthy, and they just talk about the performance, right? Because they're teaching from the place of perception of other people. They're not teaching from the place of the essence, the spiritual aspect. And it is the spiritual, the metaphysical, the neuroscientific aspects that actually makes up the essence of what you're trying to learn. And it is the essence that actually birth the results that we all want to have at the end of this endless lessons, right? And because a lot of these teachings are teaching about performance and not the essence, that is why you notice that after paying for multiple courses and teachings and ebooks and all of that, you still can't get the results. You still can't become this feminine. You still can't effortlessly channel this feminine aspect of you, and you still can't get the man that you want because you're not learning the actual thing. You're not learning the essence. You're learning the performance. It's the equivalent of, someone who wants to learn how to get rich, but also looking for a shortcut to get rich. And that shortcut is usually something like, oh, go buy the designer bags, go buy all the fancy clothes and rent all the fancy cars so that you can be perceived as rich. Yeah, I've literally had people giving advice like that online. The end point of learning the energy itself, rather than its performance, is to attain healing and magnetism as a woman, especially now in the world that it's so rare. It's such a rare thing to see in women these days. It makes more sense to pursue after this rather than the endless do's and don'ts of how to get your dream man to notice you. That whole scenario is like water moving away from the ocean to settle in a small stream bank. But if a woman learns to focus instead on the goal of the healing and the magnetism that embodying her authentic feminine energy brings, she is able to flow like an ocean, and the man who is magnetized by her essence is given the opportunity to rise to the capacity that can hold her feminine energy, which, like I said in this video, the feminine energy is very much likened to the character of water. So feminine energy is really about flow. That is why you need to master the essence. For us ladies who master the essence rather than the performance, right? It is just a flow. It comes so easy and so natural. And toxic patriarchy does not want women to learn the actual feminine energy, because that is the real teaching. That is where the true female empowerment lies. That is where true female empowerment lies. Because if more women are awakened to their full potential, to the full meaning of their existence in this world, if more women awaken, that would call for more men to have to rise higher. It will call for more men to have to rise higher or suffer the risk of feeling left behind by the amount of women that have, awakened themselves and upgraded in knowledge and all of that. So authentic feminine energy is a real threat to the toxic patriarchal system of the world. And someone is probably thinking, oh, I'm probably one of those feminine energy teachers who are against men. But no, absolutely not. I do believe in patriarchy. I do believe in the order of patriarchy. But I'm talking about healthy patriarchy, not the toxic patriarchy. Majority of the patriarchal system that we see in the world, especially the one that has oppressed women for over centuries across different cultures around the world, those are the toxic patriarchal structures. And those are the ones that we do not want. Those are the ones that do not want women to actually learn feminine energy. But they are very much okay with women learning the performance, because like I said, the women learning the performative side of womanhood, which is the side that mostly talks about femininity, that is the appearance of womanhood, those sides are actually designed to create women that become male-centered. Women that become fully dependent on the male gaze. And that is like lowering your potential. It is like lowering your potential. That is not how God designed us to be. That is not how God meant for women to exist in this world. That is living way beyond, way below your purpose as a feminine being in this world. Learning the actual feminine energy in this world, it brings you healing. Learning to embody or to awaken your authentic divine feminine energy as a woman in this world, it brings you healing, right? The healing you're looking for, it comes from literally walking the path that God meant for you to walk as a woman, walking in your true purpose as God meant for you to walk, which is the essence of divine femininity or divine feminine energy. So it brings you healing, and at the same time, it also triggers, or it brings about that magnetism that we are all looking for, the magnetism that we want as women, to be able to attract the life that we want, to be able to attract the kind of man that we want for our lives and for our future offsprings and all of that. Without the healing first, you can never get the magnetism. That is why I personally would like to encourage every woman out there, especially if you're in that season where you're already, asking questions, you're already trying to learn about your feminine energy, you're trying to heal from, soul wounds, from traumas, you're trying to unlearn, the societal programming that has programmed us to live below our purpose. And you're just generally at that phase as a woman where you're asking the question, what is my purpose on earth? It starts with knowing your purpose as a woman before you can be able to understand the big picture of what your purpose is in this world as a female human being, right? So I invite you and I encourage you to try to learn about feminine energy. Learn more about feminine energy. I know it can be a lot of talk, but I do my best to break it down in my channel. This is what I talk about. I have an entire playlist about divine feminine energy, so you can start from there. Go through my playlist. My comment sections are open. My DMs are open. My email is open. You can ask any question that you want to ask. I am here to help you. Whatever question you ask, whatever special video request you have, feel free to always send that. DM me, email me, whatever avenue you wish to use. I have all my socials listed out on my channel. So reach out to me, ask the questions, and I will be so happy to, make a video to explain better for you guys. Of course, like, that is why I'm here, okay? This is literally my only purpose on YouTube, is to awaken more women, right? Is to awaken more women to the truth, to show you guys the blueprint of how to do it right, how to get it right. So this is a community of free women from different parts of the world. So feel free, this is a place for you. Ask your questions. So yeah, like I was saying, you can start with this playlist where I talked about divine femininity, and this is a second playlist where I've been talking about the shadow aspect of divine femininity. So this dark femininity is basically talking about the powerful side of feminine energy, of femininity in general, hence the dark femininity. So everything about female boundaries, how to protect yourself in the world as a woman, how to, channel your queen energy, how to command the kind of life you want, communicate your boundaries without losing your feminine essence, going after the job of your dreams, or working any job at all without losing your feminine essence. This is the playlist that talks about all of that. While this other playlist mostly talks about the foundation, the fundamentals, the basics. So I encourage you to start with this one first before you graduate into this one. So yeah, subscribe to my channel for more videos and insights like this. Also share this video with more women so that they can benefit and be awakened to the truth. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye bye.